Hey, it's Black Vader or I am Michael. That's my first name, slave name. You know what it is. But I'm going over Area 3 Entertainment. If you just started watching my videos, I typically go over the code as much as possible. Sometimes I miss days, sometimes I miss weeks. It is what it is. We all live our lives, but as long as I'm being constructive, and helping out the people who look like me, or if I can just do something to help out someone each and every day throughout my videos, I feel like I'm being valuable overall, in a long scheme of things, especially since supposedly everything lasts forever when everything really doesn't. So let me get into it. We're reading a code by Neely Fuller, producejustice.com, page 119, Area 3, Entertainment. Also, please like, comment, subscribe to the page, and we're just gonna get right into it. So, what else? So we're just gonna get right into it, and the following pages presented that pertain to what a victim of racism, non-white person should or should not choose to do in a third major area of activity. Each person should choose to speak and or act according to one or more of the suggestions presented, but only if he or she decides to do so. No person should speak and or act according to any suggestion presented herein unless he or she has judged that the suggestion chosen is of current or correct value in helping to eliminate racism, white supremacy, or in helping to better produce justice. It is important to know and understand that one or more suggestions selected in one major area of people activity should be used in a constructed combination with one or more suggestions selected from other major areas of people activity. If an individual person chooses to utilize any suggestion presented herein, he or she should do so in a manner at a specific time, at a specific place that will produce the most constructive result in the revelation of truth and the production of justice or correctness. Many non-white people waste too much time, energy by promoting and are participating in frivolous parties, social gatherings. Most so-called social gatherings of non-white people are none other than excuses to show off or gossip, or engage in nitpicking or malicious plotting. Such contacts usually serve to do little more than promote animosity, conflict, show-offism, dishonesty, gossip, or other forms of unnecessary destructive activity. Um, yeah, should it? I can agree with him at times. I really believe, like, it really depends on who you hang out with and what your purpose for that hangout or group setting is. A lot of times, like, black folk will get together just to catch up, and a lot of the times that catch up will involve in some shit talking, or some things that happen to people, just life experiences and stuff. And then sometimes we just judge each other based upon those different life experiences that may or may not have happened, so. Let me get into it some more. Four basic show-offisms by among the victims of racism, non-white people. One, showing off to each other the things that white people have allowed them to attain. Allowed them. So all this shit around, even the shit I'm wearing, like if white people just gathered up and said, fuck it, we gonna in these Negroes right now, like, they can try to. This is the stuff they allow us to have, just like with slavery. They allowed us to fucking eat at a certain time after we get done working. Only this is just a little bit more complex because, there was a lot of sacrifices made between then and now to get us to this point. Number two, showing off to each other the information that white people have allowed them to have. Showing off to each other. So, like, let's say I got this. I gotta move my screen. Let's say I got this. This is just in my house, but like, let's say like people show off their degrees or whatever, or their education or certifications and stuff like that, which is good in my opinion, it's good to be proud of those things because you work for those things, you acquired them. But at the end of the day, it doesn't, produce the justice of any white supremacy. It just helps establishing. So like even my graphic design degree or whatever, like that helps establish white supremacy as a whole. If I'm just constantly making money and I'm making money for white supremacy, or I'm giving my money back to white supremacy institutions or stuff that don't help black people overall or non-white people overall. Number 3. Showing off to each other their ability to belittle each other. Black folk are the best shit talkers on earth. The best shit talkers on earth. If you can have nothing in your pocket, but if you got that game to spit that game and shit talk your way, you can make another black person who's accomplished as much as Elon Musk feel like shit. Even though I don't think there has been a black person who did that, who's alive right now. But you can make another black person feel like shit, insecure, bad, negative, lower vibration, whatever you want to call it, as long as you got that wordplay to make them shut up. Especially, I know one thing, because I went to high school in Chicago, so like it's a whole nother story over there. But number 4, showing off to each other their ability to make sexual impressions on each other. So like, who got the best ass, who got the best dick, like who can twerk the best, who can move their body, gyrate emotions, who can basically attract the most attention. It all goes down to showing off. Explanation, this is what Neely goes into. Explanation. Many non-white people spend too much time, energy, and money showing off to each other. They do this as a means of trying to make their overall effects of racism, white supremacy, or their personal affairs seem unimportant or non-existent. This show-offism serves no constructive purpose. It only helps non-white people to become more pitiful, more primitive, stupid, and or silly in the comparison to the abilities of the white supremacists, racists, and or in comparison to white people in general. As long as racism, white supremacy exists, any deliberate gathering of two or of more than 2 people, specifically one non-white person, male, and one non-white female, should always be for the purpose of doing constructive labor and or exchanging constructive information. Labor and info. If you ain't working together, y'all talking about how to get that back, how to just be constructive, So that's what I've been trying to do. Like, I don't really like talk or hang out around any like non-white person unless it's to do something important or it's to accomplish a goal. I was in the military, so like I like calling them missions. Like if me and one of my homeboys are doing something, and like let's say like I'm not exposing myself like that, but let's say like we have something we want to accomplish, and one of us have like a good or bad vice, drinking, smoking, picking our nose too much, whatever, like we might have that vice in common. Even watching too much TV, me and my partner or my friends might have, or playing 2K too long, might have that thing in common to where it's not that constructive. But for me, like I like doing something first that might be in relation to the constructive activity, and then doing whatever, like let's say cleaning up a room. Like even just before I did this, I cleaned up my living room a little bit, just a little stuff, anything that can be constructive to destroy the system of white supremacy is absolutely vital and necessary for your well-being and who you are as a person. So let me go on to read them more. Know and understand that the white supremacist racists have a substantial influence on the ways in which many non-white people are so-called entertained. Much of this so-called entertainment has often produced poisonous drinks and or drugs, gossip, name-calling, trivial and or dangerous conversation, and unnecessary hostility due to the artificial need to appear more intelligent, more important, and more prosperous than anyone else. So there's a need among black people to be important or vital because we've been looked down upon for so many years, over hundreds of years. So, there's always been that underlying need of awareness or acceptance among black folk because we've been looked at as less at the bottom of the totem pole of all people. Looking cool. See, that's the thing about this whole entertainment thing. It's like, it's looking cool. Looking cool and being smart are 2 different things. You know what I mean? You can put lipstick on a fucking monkey. That shit ain't no fucking like woman. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like it's trying to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what I'm trying to get at is black folk we need to entertain ourselves in a constructive manner. But let me get on to what Neely is saying. non-white people have been greatly poisoned by the white supremacists to such an extent that when substantial numbers of non-white people gather for purposes of entertainment, the poisoned speech and action by the people present does not produce a single activity that can be truthfully evaluated as constructive. Like I can tell you guys experiences I had in terms of like I do music and stuff like that. Sometimes I rent out a place and I have a show. I had a couple shows like that, and then I have like local talent or whatever perform. But one thing I always like doing is somehow finding a way to give back to the community because of the effort that the community gives back to me. So like there's this place called CEO around where I live at Commerce of Economic Opportunity. They actually like got my spot where I live at now and stuff like that. They helped me get in my place or whatever like that. But every time I did a show in the future, I would always bring canned foods and back to CEO just to give back to the community. Even though, like, let's say we charge at the door like $15, $20, or even $10. You know, you bring in canned food, you get $5 off. So it's like you look out for the community, and then you know you already turning up. And I don't receive anything for that besides my cut from, you know, trying to make my own money and putting my own efforts into what I'm doing. You know, everyone should get paid for their work. But I believe helping out the needy or important people that are not really taken care of somehow, some way, you know, indirectly or directly, is very vital to society. So, you know, we can all try to be more constructive. Even me, like I can tweak my behavior a little bit more each and every day and see where I lead to. So going on to reading the code, many times with the best intentions, the lack of constructive code of behavior and a lack of constructive goal to be achieved allows aimless or whimsical speech and action among those present. Silly or stupid speech and or action, sometimes encouraged or glorified, too often becomes prominent to the point of disaster. Hostility too often creeps into the so-called festivities. Fighting sometimes erupts. Killing happens so often that in many, many circumstances, many deaths can be expected and or predicted. It's sort of like what they say, like 4th of July weekend in Chicago, where everyone just start going crazy for no reason, start shooting each other, all type of stuff. It's like, you know, it's not that deep. I feel like when all the gangsters and all the non-white politician businessmen and can understand that slavery isn't over, we can fucking wake up, bro. We gotta understand that slavery's not fucking over, bro. I don't care what nigga says. Slavery is not over. It's not over. It's even in a constitution. Sorry. But avoid making comparisons between yourself and other non-white people. Avoid measuring yourself by watching what other non-white people do. Do not seek excuses to nitpick or gossip, or particularly do not, for any reason, spend time, energy, or money trying to show off. Explanation. Many non-white people spend too much time comparing themselves with each other. They enjoy watching each other. They spend much time and energy gossiping about each other and showing great interest in nitpicking the trivial comings and goings of each other. Many of them spend the better part of their existence seeking to promote jealousy, envy, and snobbery among themselves. However, if one understands anything about the people of the known universe, one should certainly understand that, considering all things, there is nothing involving a non-white person to envy, nothing to be jealous about, and nothing to be snobbish about. There is nothing about such behavior that is constructive or complimentary. Such behavior only helps to maintain the status quo of injustice and incorrectness, particularly the injustice and incorrectness is expressed in the form of white supremacy. It is important to remember, however, that no people in the known universe are the quality of people that any people should be. Therefore, there is absolutely nothing about any people that should provoke jealousy, envy, snobbery, gossip, or praise. So basically, people ain't shit. And yeah, that's it. People ain't shit. But white supremacy is the biggest piece of shit on this planet. So there's no reason for us to show off. If we all smell bad, there's no reason for us to like say I smell better than you. Like, bro, you stink too. You know what I'm saying? So when talking about entertainment, ask and answer the following question. Does the entertainment directly or indirectly cause people to think about replacing white supremacy, racism with a system of justice balance between people? Um, like I said, I do music. I think most of all my music, besides probably features, is I try to at least be on some conscious level with the people and get some type of conscious understanding among, or even one thing I like doing is having people have thought-provoking questions, and make people ask questions about things and question the things that go on around them in society. I think that's very important because you don't really find the answer to anything until you're willing to ask the question. So um, yeah. During the existence of white supremacy, always expect so-called entertainment for non-white people to be basically pitiful, primitive, silly, and or stupid. Expect much of this entertainment to glorify the killing and maiming of non-white males and their thrashing in general mistreatment of non-white females. Basically hip hop. Before hip hop was mainstream, we was talking about destroying white supremacy. And then when it becomes mainstream, it's about killing and twerking. That's fucking retarded. I'm sorry, that's so stupid. What you call it? What was it? What was it? Oh my goodness. It was Flavor Flav and oh my goodness, what was it? Um Fear of a Black Planet. I think it was made the year I was born, 89 or 90. But I forgot, even Run DMC. Just everyone was talking about fight the power back then. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for our rights and stuff because, the people that created hip hop were born from the civil rights movement. You know what I mean? Without the civil rights movement, I promise you there wouldn't be no hip hop. There wouldn't be no hip hop. People wouldn't be talking about. We weren't talking about drip and clothes and twerking. You know what I'm saying? We was talking about, running up at Master. You know what I'm saying? At the Masters or at the white supremacists. Pulling up on them. Because the Black Panthers taught us that. To stand up for ourselves. And now it's like they introduced the drugs to corrupt our minds. They introduced dancing and to distract us and introduce ego-centric music and clothes and drip and things that are distracting. If you, like I said, you put lipstick on a fucking monkey, that motherfucker is still a monkey. You're still in white. To them, you're still a fucking monkey, bro. No matter how much drip you pull on. If I have $1 million, I'm still gonna look like a fucking monkey, bro. I don't care. Because the white supremacist has trillions of dollars, bro. This is one thing I really like. I constantly think about sometimes. It's like, if we were back in slavery right now, imagine how slavery is. We're on a plantation right now, and we're all just I'm shirtless. I'm just I don't know, doing slave work. Okay, now let's fast forward 500 years and give that same master trillions of dollars. You know what I mean? That master would have black people working different jobs. Only he'd have so much money that he can give his slaves gold chains. I'm probably going to use this again. This probably fly over a lot of people's head. But let's say we're in slavery right now. And it's just basic slavery. Like, we're just outside or whatever. And then you just advance that slavery. And it doesn't get stopped for 500 years. The master of those slaves is going to have so much money that he can give his slaves gold. You understand that? So let's say I work on something for 500 years and I become an excellent person at doing that, whatever that thing is doing. The people who I employ, I should be able to give them gold chains and silver chains by the time I'm done with them because I'm such an excellent businessman. And in the business of white supremacy, it's so good that they can give their slaves chains, okay? Gold chains. Instead of shackles, They can now give them gold chains. 100 years from now, they're gonna look at us stupid. Like, okay, y'all was wearing rusted chains now y'all wearing gold chains later. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's probably gonna fly over a lot of people's head. I'm gonna continue to read. During the existence of white supremacy, according to counter-racist logic, it is correct to expect the white supremacist racist men and racist women collectively to promote forms of entertainment among non-white people that are deliberately designed to produce non-constructive results. Explanation. During the existence of white supremacy, sports and entertainment are two things that the white supremacists allow many non-white people to participate in. Monkeys in a motherfucking cage. Non-white people who are allowed to participate in sports or entertainment should do their best to use those activities in a manner that will result in teaching and or learning how to produce, maintain, repair, store, and or transport something of a constructive value that is wanted or needed that will fulfill a constructive purpose. All so-called sports and entertainment should be intentionally designed to educate about the methods of replacing non-justice with justice. Such activity can be thought of as edutainment. Interesting. Even Muhammad Ali, he got as soon as he started talking about racism and not wanting to go to war and fight the Vietnamese, all the white people started getting mad. Shut up and start boxing, boy. Shut up and start boxing. Shut up and dribble, boy. LeBron James. As soon as we shut up and play football, Colin Kaepernick. As soon as the best and brightest have a problem with the system of white supremacy, they look around and be like, "Yo, this shit is fucked up." You know what I'm saying? I'm a smart, intelligent black person. I have all these opportunities. God has gifted me a way all the way to the top, and I see the top is fucked up, and I want to change it. And for people who look like me. And you know what people who don't look like me say? Shut up and fucking dribble. I can't fuck with that shit, bro. So, let me go back into reading. As long as white supremacy exists, do not speak and act as if being praised for your abilities in sports and entertainment means that you are valued as so-called a human being. What many white people see when they look at a non-white people performing in sports and entertainment is not a person, but a strange, exotic, fascinating animal creature, possibly worthy of being sheltered, fed, groomed, decorated, petted, and probably paraded at the end of a gilded leash. But I'm telling you, monkeys with lipstick. They look at us like monkeys with fucking lipstick, bro. Just tall, majestic animals. And I think the racists look at us like they look at elephants or giraffes or whatever. It just says animals. And it's so fucking crazy because, you know, we have hands, we have a face, we have two eyes, we have nose, lips, taller, you know, bigger. Like, I look like you, but I'm taller and bigger than you. Yet you're calling me less than a person because you're keeping knowledge away from me, resources away from me, my own people away from me. You know, it's very hypocritical. You know, the ability of the racists to control society. And the funny thing is, a lot of people don't understand, like, how do you not understand how racists have controlled society and continue to control society when the foundations of America have been founded upon evil and the injustice of the racists. The racists have always been looking out for themselves and will continue to do so. How can you think like I just don't understand? So people just said white people just stop being racist, and we're all good now. The last 40, 50 years of, compared to what, 500 years of being in America, white people just said, yeah, we good now. I'm not a hardcore racist. I'm not going to cut the nuts off a nigga. I'm not going to hang that nigga. I'm not going to think he's less than a person. You know, it is what it is, though. We just should just try to be constructive by our own means and do the best that we can each and every day. Somehow, some way, even if it's not the best that we can, as long as we're constructive and destroying the system of white supremacy and bringing a system of justice, that's all that matters. So I'm gonna stop reading today because I was going off. I always try to like keep it like quick. I know some people, I can watch YouTube videos for hours. You know what I'm saying? But not everyone can do that. If you think this should be longer, let me know. But I highly doubt that. I just want to take time to say I appreciate everyone for allowing me to start Area 3 entertainment and go over these certain areas. I think I only went over like 2 pages. Yeah, 2 pages. But it is what it is, you know. It's the long game. Maybe I'll go over it longer next time. But I really appreciate you guys for watching my videos. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, yeah, that's it. It's Black Vader. I am Michael. Peace.